to the game, make McDonald's Hamburg
Gymnasium. The Buffalo Bison getting ready to host the Douglas Bearcats varsity. But this will be the third of 3 games to be played here at the Buffalo High School gym tonight. Started earlier this afternoon when the Douglas freshmen jumped off to a 20-9 first quarter lead. Bison freshmen narrowed that a little bit in the second quarter, going to the locker room. Douglas led by 7, 32-25. And then things really got interesting. In the third quarter, the Bison came back to within 1 point. And in the fourth quarter, the freshmen for Buffalo wound up getting their lead only with about a minute, 6 seconds to go. The Douglas Bearcats scored, got the lead back, and win it by 3 at 54-51. Individual scoring in the freshman game for tip-off here in Buffalo. Buffalo against Douglas, and keep in mind, right after this game, the Bison girls and the Douglas Bearcat girls will be taking one another on in Douglas at the Columbus County Recreation Complex there in their rematch. Starting lineup for tonight for the Douglas Bearcats: 5'9" senior Jeff Philo, 5'8" junior David Philo, 6'0" junior Brandon Clear, 5'11" senior John Hardy, and of course the fifth of the starting 5 will be 6'2" senior Nathan Rolfe. For the Buffalo Bison, they'll be going with 6'0" junior Chad Cottle, 6'2" junior Travis Holland, 6'0" junior Brett Dahl, 5'11" senior Daniel Duncan, and 6'1" sophomore Jason Grubb. Not a lot of fans here. Coming up after this game at the Buffalo High School gym will be wrestling competition, as the Wheatland Bulldogs will be coming to Buffalo. And normally they would have taken those matches over at the Clear Creek School gym. However, because of the anticipated crowd, they decided to move the basketball games up and also at the same time be able to then have the wrestling here in the high school gym. Travis Holland jumping it against Nathan Roth, and the tip is controlled by the Bearcats, and they throw the ball away. Trying to get one underneath real quick, the ball winds up being thrown away, and the Bison will get the ball underneath their own basket. Underneath the Bearcat basket, which is the basket to our left. Bison going to the basket on our right. Bison with the ball. Daniel Duncan underneath is pushed around. Whistle goes off, but a foul will be called on Nathan Rolfe. The 6'2" senior has the first foul called in the ball game. Last year in the 3 games Buffalo played Douglas, Nathan had 87 points in those 3 games. Daniel Duncan at the Bison free throw line. The first shot, no good. 5'11" senior, then hitting 43% from the free throw stripe. Takes the second shot up and no good. Rebounded by the Bearcats. Down the floor we go. A long shot is up, no good. Travis Holland rips off the rebound, gives it back to Brett Dahl, and Dahl brings it to the Bison into the floor. On the point, trading passes with Cottle. 3-point shot for Chad Lowe. And a whistle on the fight for the loose ball. And John Hardy reached out and pushed somebody away when they were trying to get a hold of that ball. Inbounds play for the Bison. Cottle and Duncan exchange passes, and John Hardy comes over and knocks the ball out of bounds and away from the Bison. Out of bounds it goes. It will be given to Buffalo though. Jason Grubb. And underneath, they try to get the pass to Travis Holland, but the pass was not anywhere close. Goes out of bounds. It will be Bearcat ball in the backcourt. Inbounds pass to Jeff Philo. Philo to Rolf over the half-court line to Hardy. John fakes, drives, holds up for a 15-footer. No, tip no good. Rebounded by Chad Cottle. Bison come out of there with the ball. Cottle to the free throw stripe. Gives to Grubb. Whistle goes off. Then a foul called on the Bearcats. This one will be on David Philo. Foul number 1 on the 5'8 junior. Foul number 3 on the Bearcats. Bison ball on the inbound play. Chad Cottle, three-point shot. Nope. And out of bounds. Knocked out by the Douglas Bearcats. Bison ball underneath their own basket. 6 minutes, 47 seconds on the clock here. First quarter. Inbounds pass to Daniel Duncan. Duncan dribbles this way. Stops. Goes away from us. Giving to Cottle. Chad on the point. Coming this way to Daniel Duncan. Baseline drive by Jason Grubb. It's no good. Rebounded by Chad Cottle. Back to Grubb. Grubb takes a shot. No good. So we've played 2 minutes into this game and no score as yet. Still 0-0. Nathan Rolfe takes a shot up and no good. Douglas with the ball though. Brandon Fleer hands it to Philo. Fleer. Rolfe, 16-footer, no good. Rebounded by Brett Dahl. Brett comes out of there dribbling with the ball. Long pass down the floor. Picked up by Duncan, taken away. Philo. And Philo loses the ball. Picks it up at the half-court stripe. Gives to John Hardy. Hardy into the paint. Lays one up. Whistle goes off. Foul will be called on Chad Cottle. First foul called on the Bison compared to 3 on the Douglas Bearcats. And it will be Douglas's ball underneath their own basket. John Hardy way up high. Loose ball. Picked up by Grubb. Fast break pass to Brett Dahl. Double teamed. He has the ball stripped away from him by David Philo. And the ball will be given to Buffalo underneath their own basket. 5:29 to go in this first quarter and no score at the moment by either team. Inbounds pass to Grubb, deflected out of bounds by Jeff Philo. Bison will throw it inbounds from the far sideline. Inbounds pass, Dahl, Cottle. Underneath Travis Holland, shot blocked. Picked up by the Bearcats, 2-on-2. Hardy loses the ball, out of bounds. It will be Bison ball. Have played almost 3 minutes now with no score in this ball game. Bison move the ball back to their end of the floor, which is the basket to our right in this first half. A whistle goes off, and a rain violation called against the Bison. 3 turnovers now in Buffalo, 3 on Douglas. Sean Smith is with me right now.
I was waiting for you to properly introduce me, Steve. I didn't want to just jump in there.
Good day at work, I hope.
Oh, yeah, not bad.
Meanwhile, the Bearcats have the ball. Down at their end of the floor, Brandon Fleer coming this way to Rolfe. Low post, Philo. Back out on the top. They'll set it up. Shot is up and no good. Rebounded by Travis Holland. He clears it off to Brett Dahl. Long pass down the far sideline to Grubb. To Brett. To Cottle. Chad fake. 15-foot shot. No good. Rebounded by the Bearcats. We have almost got 4 minutes now, half of this quarter with no score by either team. Hardy takes an 18-footer, no good. Rebounded by Buffalo. Chad Cottle down the lane, loses the ball. Threw it away. And it will be Douglas ball in the backcourt. Andy Schroeder will check in for John Hardy. Schroeder, 5'8", junior. Bison with the full court press on the Bearcats. They get the ball over the half-court line. Nathan Rolfe gives to Philo, three-point shot, no good. Loose ball, out of bounds, knocked out by Buffalo. Well, I know, Sean, you haven't been here but just a couple moments, but as you can see on the scoreboard, you haven't missed anything.
Well, yeah, both teams are being rather patient on their offensive end, but and they're getting the shots they want, I think, but nothing's going in.
Three-point shot by Schroeder, no good. Rebounded by, loose ball. Bison come up with it. Chad Cottle, long pass to Grubb, baseline drive. He takes an 8-foot shot, no good. Rebounded by Douglas, the Bearcats. Then a call for walking with the ball. Troy Cooper, 5'11". Troy Cooper's in there now. Troy Cooper's in there now. I hesitated. The program says he's 5'11", but he looks bigger than that. Anyway, Cooper in there. Bison have the ball. Chad Cottle, 18-footer. Nope. Rebounded by Douglas. The Bearcats bring it back to their end of the floor. 3.5 minutes yet to go in the first quarter. No score in the ball game. Shot is up. No good. Wide open shot by Nathan Rolfe. And the Bison wind up grabbing it, knocking it out of bounds, so Douglas gets it underneath their own basket.
I'll tell you, Steve, they are being patient, as you can tell, and they are getting the shots, wide open shots like that, both teams, and just nothing's going in. I think maybe they're a little nervous about each other.
Can't understand. I thought we had a slow start yesterday when Lovell was here, when there was only 17 points total between the two teams in the first quarter, but this is getting a little ridiculous. Meanwhile, Travis Holland is called for his first foul, and Nathan Rolfe will go to the free throw line. 6'2" senior, first shot, no good. Now Nathan, down in Douglas in the first match, 2 for 2 at the free throw line. He had 9 points in that ball game. His second shot, not even close. Bison come up with the ball, and it's still 0-0. 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. 5 minutes off the clock and no score. Holland, Cottle, Dahl, three-point shot for Brett. Nope. Picked up by Douglas. Cooper gets the ball over the half-court line, gives to John Hardy. Hardy over to Fleer. Fleer, far side corner, back out front to Schroeder. This way to Rolfe. He makes the move in, puts one up and in. He wasn't going to miss that one because it was almost from hand to hoop. And that's the first 2 points of the game. The Bison come down, go to Jason Grubb. He goes up for 2. Both teams on the scoreboard, but it took both teams 6.5 minutes to do it. Now Nathan Rolfe drills an 18-footer, and finally things are coming unglued a little bit.
Well, one of the things that kept both teams off the scoreboard, one shot and the other team was rebounding. Both teams are boxing out extremely well on the boards and getting the rebounds, no second chances.
Daniel Duncan goes for a shot. He is fouled by Brandon Fleer, his first in the ball game. And Daniel Duncan earlier missed 2 at the free throw line. He will have 2 more to practice on. A 43% free throw shooter. First shot's up and good. 4-3 in favor of Douglas, and a chance for Daniel Duncan to tie the score. Daniel averaging 6 points a game, but he had 12 points down in Douglas the first time around. Second shot, no good. Rebounded by Buffalo, and they're called for walking with the ball. On the turnover, that'll be 4 on Buffalo, 4 on Douglas. As far as rebounds go, it looks like it's about 9-8 in favor of Buffalo by 1 rebound. Full court pressure. It's Douglas's ball. They throw it away. Nathan Rolfe went to throw the ball to John Hardy, but John had turned the jets on. It was about 4 steps ahead of where the ball came down, and it comes out of bounds. So they turn it over right to the Bison on their side of the floor. 3-point shot for Brett Dahl. Nope. Rebounded by Jason Grubb. He gives it to Eric Stahl. Eric puts it up. No good. Good shot, though. Wide open, but he just couldn't get it to go in. Schroeder gives to Hardy as the Bearcats set it up. They're leading by 1. Rolfe takes an 8-footer. Good. Well, Nathan Rolfe in a lot of traffic got his 6th point of the game.
They're going to have to... Oh, excuse me, Steve. Go ahead.
Nathan Rolfe 6, Buffalo 3 is what it is right now.
They're going to have to shut him down if he keeps this up all day. We could be in for a long afternoon.
Well, in 3 games last year, Nathan Rolfe scored only 87 points.
What's that average out? 29 points a game?
I think that tells Buffalo, yeah, they're going to have to shut him down. But down in Douglas, he only had 9 points, so they did a good job down in Douglas against him. Meanwhile, the Bison turned the ball over. Douglas will be bringing it inbounds in the backcourt. Inbounds pass to Troy Cooper. Schroeder, Hardy into the paint, lays one up. Nope, tip no good. Knocked out of bounds. Buffalo will get it. Bison have to wait for the referee to retrieve the ball over where the band drums usually are. The band is not here. That's why it sounds so quiet, I guess.
I can actually hear Steve here next to me for a change.
Chad Cottle is fouled.
Nope, on the floor.
You know, we almost, and it wouldn't have counted anyway, but after the foul was committed, Chad behind the basket flopped the shot up, and it just about went in. But the foul was committed before the shot. That'll be 2 now on Brandon Fleer. And the Bison have the ball. They have the ball. John Hardy intercepts to Schroeder. 1-on-1. He lays it up. No. Knocked out of bounds by Buffalo, though. It will be Douglas ball. Bearcats bring Jeff Philo, 5'9" senior, back into their lineup. And coming out is Brandon Fleer. And the Bearcats score on the inbound play, but I didn't catch who got the basket. Did anybody else see who got it? Anyway, it's an 8-3, 5-point Douglas lead now. Bison down at their end of the floor. Travis Holland at the baseline gives Jason Grubb cross court. Out front to Brett Dahl. This way to Cottle. Cottle puts the shot up and good. First 2 in the game for the Bison's leading scorer. Bearcats come down the floor.
And give that bucket to Rolfe, that last one. Jason again.
Okay. Rolfe with all 8 points for Douglas. Make that 10. No. He missed the shot. And it's rebounded by Buffalo. Bison down the floor at the buzzer. Shot is up, but no good. And at the end of the first quarter, it is Douglas 8, the Bison 5. We'll be back after this from those making the broadcast possible. Tap me on the shoulder when you're going to talk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, great me up.
What did those, I don't know if any either teams want to know what they shot percentage-wise in the field.
I'll turn myself up here. Not really. Buffalo shot pretty poor. Buffalo was just 2 for 14 in the first half, shooting 14%. Foul was on. Who's the foul on there? Steve, did you see?
It is on John Hardy, his second foul.
Okay, and Douglas in the first quarter shot 4 for 19, just 21% from the field.
Bison on the inbound play have the ball swapped away by the Bearcats. Wiped away, watched away, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, they got the ball. 8-5, a 3-point Douglas lead. Schroeder, far side of the circle, stands there, whistle goes up. He stood there too long. Bearcats will turn it over. Looks like, what they have, 6 in the first. Buffalo with 6 turnovers also in the first, and now it's 2-1 turnovers. Douglas 2, Buffalo 1 turnover in the second quarter. Bison with the ball. Shot by Chad Cottle, deflected, no good, but Eric Stahl with the rebound. He goes up for the shot, no good. Rebounded by Valley. Buffalo, controlled it. Travis Holland goes up for a shot, no good. He's fouled by Jeff Philo. 5'9" senior with his first foul, stopping the clock with 6:57 to play in the second quarter. Minute 3 seconds off the clock in the second quarter. Neither team has scored, but Travis Holland will have a chance to put a point or two on the scoreboard. Shot number 1 is up and good at the free throw stripe. 63% the free throw shooter on the season. He is 100% tonight as the second shot is up and in good. 8-7, the Bison trail by 1. Jason Grubb comes out. Daniel Duncan back into the Bison lineup, and the Bearcats have the ball. John Hardy gets the ball over the half-court line, giving to Fleer. Shearer hands it to Rolfe. Rolfe, a shot from the side, good. Nathan Rolfe has all 10 of the Bearcat points in this first half. 10-7 Douglas lead. Bison ball. Chad Cottle has to hustle to save it. Jump ball all of a sudden called. And it will be Bearcat ball on alternating possession. Bearcats will get the ball across the court near the center court stripe. Stepping out to throw the ball in is Nathan Rolfe. Understand Nathan has quite a few colleges interested in his talents for next year.
Well, he looks like he's beefed up quite a bit from last year. Last year he was tall and a slender kid, and he looks like he's been in the weight room quite a bit.
All I can say is thank goodness he is graduating finally as he goes up for 2 more points.
That's 12 for him.
He's been a terror, a thorn in our side for 3 full years. And while it's going to be a loss for Douglas, nobody else in the conference is going to be heartbroken. Yes. Bison ball underneath Daniel Duncan. Shot is up, no good. Eric Stahl puts one up, no good, but the whistle goes off and a foul called on Jeff Philo. And Jeff Philo will send Eric Stahl to the free throw line. The best game of the year for Eric Stahl was down in Douglas when he went 0 for 2 at the free throw line, but he scored 10 points in that game and was pretty good at the at the rebound department. The first shot is up and good tonight at the free throw stripe. His first point in the ball game. Been averaging 2 points a game with only 4 rebounds with very limited playing time in the last 2-3 weeks here. Second shot is in, but we jumped the line too soon, so it will not count. 12-8, Douglas, 4-point lead. And Eric Stahl comes out. And the Bearcats bring the ball down across the half-court line to Rolfe. And they real quick go to Cooper. He goes up for a shot, and he is fouled.
Steve, Buffalo right there, they slapped on the press. It was more of a half-court press, but the same thing happened last night against Lovell. Lovell was breaking the press easily and then getting the easy hoop underneath. That's exactly what happened there, and Daniel Duncan with a bad foul on the shot. And hopefully that won't continue, but those easy buckets underneath are what hurt the Bison last night, and hopefully it won't happen again tonight.
Well, Troy Cooper takes advantage of it. 3-point play as he kneels down the free throw. And the Bison trail by 7, 15-8. A shot no good, another shot good. And I tell you right there is one reason the Bison haven't put many points up, because one of the leading scorers Travis Holland had not scored from the field until just then. He has 4 now in the game. A 3-point shot, no good. Fear with the rebound, puts it up and good. Brandon Flair has his first 2 in the ball game. 17-10, 7-point Douglas lead. Brett Dahl this way to Chad Cottle. Now Chad Cottle, the other leading scorer for Buffalo, has not really done much today yet either. Brett Dahl puts a shot up and in. Get Brett, Travis, and Chad tuned up, and the score changes selection real quick. So right now, Douglas leads it by 5, make it 7-0. Shot is up, but it's no good, and rebounded by Buffalo. It was a wide open shot. The Bison quick down the floor. Jason Grubb lays it up. No, won't go. Rebounded by the Bearcats. Rolfe, double team, gets the pass off to Fleer. He puts the shot up, no good, and the follow-up tip is good for Nathan Rolfe.
14 points.
19-12. 7-point Douglas lead. Bison have a 3-pointer on the way. Good for Brett Dahl.
That's what we need more of right there, is the outside shooting.
Well, it wasn't until Brett Dahl heated up last night before Buffalo really got into the game with Lovell.
Yeah, he can. Excuse me.
Of course, he had a chance to win the game at the buzzer, but his 3-pointer, somebody sneezed and blew it off course because it just was that much off from being good.
Well, those shots seem to get a lot longer when there's only a second or 2 left on the clock.
Meanwhile, the Bison are called for a foul. This will be foul number 2 on Chad Cottle. Foul number 4 on the Bison. Down in Douglas, the Bearcats were whistled for 25 fouls. The Bison were whistled for 19 total in the game. Schroeder will come out, and John Hardy goes back in for the Bearcats. Trevor Moon, a sophomore, is in there now for Buffalo also. And the Bearcats have the ball. Leading by 4, 19-15. The whistle goes off, and Jason Grubb is called for a foul. That would be 6'1" sophomore Jason Grubb's first foul in the game. And the Bearcats will bring the ball inbounds from underneath. John Hardy way up high to Fear. Coming this way to Hardy. Hardy to the baseline. Loses the ball. Rolfe saves it though. Loses it. Picked up Travis Holland. Travis goes down. Lays it up. Almost stuffed it. It's good. 19-17. The Bison back to within 2. Bearcats underneath. The shot is up, and this one is good by Troy Cooper.
Steve, there I go again. Steve, it looks like Bison are getting a little confused on the defensive end. There's a lot of holes right in the middle, and there's 2 or 3 guys around the ball at all times, and they look like they're playing in zone. But
meanwhile, the Bison have taken a shot. No good. Knocked out of bounds. And it will be Bearcat ball. Stepping out to throw it in is Jeff Philo. Inbound pass to Rolfe. Rolfe down the lane. Shot is up. No good. Rebounded by Fleer. He puts the shot. No good. Rebounded by Cooper. His shot is up and good. 7 in the game for Cooper now. He had 5 down in Douglas against the Bison. 7 here this evening. And the Bison trailed 23-17. Game was tied at 0 and again at 2, but since it was a 2-2 ball game, it's been to Douglas's advantage. 3-pointer by Brett Dahl, no good. Taken away by Jason Grubb, and then he's called for walking with the ball. So the Bison turn it over. 2 minutes, 9 seconds to go in the second quarter. Bearcat ball coming through that press, no problem. John Hardy on the point, dribbles away from us, comes back this way, stops, passes away from us to Fleer. Fleer gives it to Philo, Jeff Philo underneath the Fleer, back out Rolfe, 3-point shot, it looked good. No, it's not, just came out the rear. Rebounded by Buffalo, taken away by Nathan Rolfe, and Nathan Rolfe was standing on the boundary line when he reached in and grabbed that ball. So the Bison get it. Minute 40 to play in the second quarter, 23-17 in favor of the Bearcats. Right now, much lower scoring ball game than what the fans of Douglas saw. Bison have it underneath to Trevor Moon. Trevor puts it up and in. His first 2 points in the game, which is exactly what he's been averaging in varsity play this season. 23-19 in favor of Douglas. Minute 15 to play. Second quarter, Rolfe hands it off to Cooper, and Cooper puts it up and in. Bison come over the half-court line. Underneath, they throw the ball away. Trying to hit Daniel Duncan, but the pass was a little bit too hard to handle, and the Bearcats get the ball. Bearcats lead it by 6, 25-19. We're under a minute to play now in this first half. Over the half-court line, Cooper now throws the ball away. Off the hands of Clear. With 53 seconds to play in the second quarter, Clear will come out and Schroeder back in. Bison have the ball over there to their side of the floor. Daniel Duncan, Brett Dahl exchanging passes. Jason Grubb and Brett Dahl exchanging passes. Jason with it right now, and he throws it away. Picked up by Philo. Jeff Philo gives to John Hardy. Hardy to Rolfe. We're down to 20 seconds to go in the second quarter, and a whistle goes off, and Trevor Moon will be called for a foul. And to the free throw line for the Bearcats will go Andy Schroeder. Apparently, no, they're not going to give him a shot. They're going to give him the ball underneath. Going to give the ball in front of the scorer's table. John Hardy will bring it in to Rolfe. Loose ball takes away Travis Holland. Travis lays it in, 2. That's 8 in the game for Travis Holland, and the Bison trail by 4. John Hardy over the half-court line with 5 seconds to go. Looks to Philo. Philo puts one up at the buzzer. No good. And so we'll go to the locker room with the Bearcats leading 25-21. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout. And the one we go, Sean, 5 minutes, wasn't it, before anybody ever scored in the first quarter of this ball game?
Yeah, 5 or 6 minutes. It was just right after I got here, yeah.
And it opened up a little bit by the end of the first quarter. Douglas 8-5, and then Bearcats with 17 points in the second quarter, and Buffalo 16. So at least we're back to kind of a normal type ball game.
Well, at least we're up to par, I suppose, in the second quarter. Slow starts, just like last night, but things have picked up here in the second half, or second quarter, I should say.
Now, if you look back, it seems like it was forever ago, and maybe it was forever ago. It was December when these teams met the first time around. That was last year. That makes it sound like a long time anyway. At the end of the first quarter in Douglas, it was 19-15, Douglas. By the end of the second quarter, the Bison had a 40-28 lead. So it was a great second quarter down in Douglas for the Bison, and then it was a great third quarter for the Bearcats as they evened it up. And then that fourth quarter was a real dogfight.
Well, what it sounds like there in the second quarter, of course, I didn't see the game. I did hear it, but a lot of outside shooting in the second quarter for the Bison. And they haven't got a lot of that tonight. I think only just one three-pointer by Brett Dahl in the second quarter. But hopefully that'll pick up. You know, we always pray for the outside shooting here in Buffalo with the smaller kids that we normally have. We can't pound it inside with a lot of the big guys, but hopefully the outside shooting will come along and will even things up, or better yet, win the game in the end with the outside shooting.
Well, it seems plenty the Bison have not looked as good on their home floor as they did down in Douglas.
Well, even the first couple of games of the season, I would come and watch, and the press, really bothered a bunch of teams. The Bison quickness was really getting to some of the teams, and the press especially really bothered them. But last night against Lovell, and then here tonight, the press hasn't been that effective at all. The Bearcats are getting the ball in bounds, and then the easy 3-on-2 down here, and every now and then getting the underneath easy layup. And if your press isn't working, you can't defend that, of course, and it's going to be a long night.
Well, I think to those earlier games when that press was so totally effective for the Bison, but I think somewhere along the way, a coach figured out how to beat it, and he has shared that information with other coaches.
Well, they've been trading films.
Yeah, they've been trading films because everybody seems to be ready for that press now.
And the Bison also, another thing that I noticed here, there have been a number of turnovers, I guess I should say, 13 for the Bison in the first half, which would probably be a better game total than a first half total. And rebounding, they have out-rebounded Douglas, but of course, the shooting percentage, 30%. The Bison only 8 of 27 in the first half, and Douglas 12 of 35. So the Bison are getting outshot by 8. And when you get outshot, the chances are, you're going to, of course, make more baskets, and that's about the difference right there. Just a couple points difference.
Well, what did you say total rebounds were?
19 for the Bison and 17 for Douglas. So it's pretty even.
On the scorebook for the Douglas Bearcats, Brandon Fleer has 2 points. Troy Cooper right now with 9 points. He is 1 for 1 at the free throw line. Nathan Rolfe with 14 points. He is 0 for 2 at the free throw line. Douglas right now 1 out of 3 at the free throw stripe. If anything good can be said, the Bison have outscored the Bearcats at the free throw line. But just as the Bearcats have taken more shots from the field, the Bison have taken more shots from the free throw line. Buffalo with 50% at the free throw line, 4 out of 8. Individually, Travis Holland did not do anything in the first quarter, but he came back with 8 points in the second quarter. Chad Cottle, another leading scorer for Buffalo, averaging 18 points a ball game, held fairly much in check the whole first half with only 2 points. Brett Dahl with 5. Daniel Duncan with 1 point. 2 for Jason Grubb. 1 for Eric Stahl. And 2 for Trevor Moon. We'll be back here at the Buffalo High School Gymnasium where the Douglas Bearcats lead it at halftime, 25-21. But first, let's take a 2-minute timeout.
Proud to support Bearcats.
Up after this ball game as the Bison Wrestlers will be hosting Wheatland. Buffalo Wrestlers on the home mat only 3 times this entire season, and tonight is the 3rd of the 3 times that they're at home. So tonight will be the last opportunity to see the Bison Wrestlers at home. Meanwhile, basketball fans, stay tuned because right after this broadcast, it's Buffalo Douglas girls basketball action from Douglas. Earlier this afternoon, the Buffalo freshmen lost to the Bearcats 54-51, and the junior varsity came back to win their game 55-45 over Douglas, and we're into the 3rd of 3, the varsity game. And as we start the 3rd quarter of play, the Bison will get the ball. And we're underway. Buffalo trailing by 4 with the ball as we open the 3rd quarter. Cottle. Dahl exchange passes, trying to go underneath to Duncan. Loose ball, Daniel picks it up, but it's taken away. And a long pass down the floor to Jeff Philo. However, Philo puts a shot up from just inside the 3-point line. It's good. his first 2 points in the ball game. Bison underneath. We have a whistle go off. Buffalo is standing on the baseline. The Bearcats off with a 2-0 lead in this third quarter. They lead it by 6. Rolfe over the half-court line to his own free throw stripe. Gives to Hardy. 15-footer, good for John Hardy. Bison and Douglas played each other 3 times last year. Douglas won all 3. 2 of those games were very close. One of them went into overtime. Bison won 72-71 back in December in the first meeting of the season, and the three-pointers up and good for Chad Cottle.
We need to see more of that outside shooting in the game, I think, tonight. Chad and Brett Dahl both.
Well, the Bison are just no match to the likes of Nathan Rolfe. They don't have anyone with the muscle.
No, not the physical ability. No, not at all.
Well, they do indeed have to get those outside shots to go in. We have a whistle go off and a foul called on Chad Cottle. Meanwhile, the Bearcats come down the floor wide open. Cooper shot no good. A whistle goes off. Pass was just a little bit late getting to Cooper. It gave Buffalo a chance to get in there, but Travis Holland got in there a little bit too close. He's called for a second foul in the ball game.
Still, Buffalo on the press there. They are not getting back in time, and Douglas is getting that easy 3-on-1 break, and there it was again.
Troy Cooper puts his first shot up and no good. He is at 1 out of 2 at the line now. 9 points in this game. At 5 points, including 1 for 2 at the line down in Douglas back in December. Second shot's up and good. 24-30, a 6-point Douglas lead. Bison with the ball. Jason Grubb to Brett Dahl. Brett over to Chad. Back to Brett. Back to Chad. Back to Brett. On the post to Grubb. Jason puts a shot up and in. He took Rolfe on one-on-one on that one and got it to go through for him. His 4th point in the ball game, and the Bison trail by 4. The Bearcats with the ball. Long pass to Rolfe. He puts the shot up, no good. Rebounded by Buffalo. Brett Dahl down the near sideline to Chad Cottle, and Chad's called for walking with the ball. Marked one more turnover down on Buffalo. That'd be about 4 now in this third quarter. And the Bearcats have the ball in the backcourt. John Hardy over the half-court line, dribbles to the free throw stripe, loses the ball. Travis Holland comes up with it, gives to Brett Dahl, and things move back to the Buffalo end of the floor, which is the basket to our left. Chad Cottle, Brett Dahl to Travis Holland. Holland makes the move, and he is fouled going for a shot. Foul called on Nathan Rolfe. And that would be 2 on the 6'2 senior for Douglas. Last year, Jeff Philo with 5 points, John Hardy with 35, and Nathan Rolfe with 87 points in the 3 games Buffalo played him. Travis Holland had 29 in the 3 games last year. Chad Cottle with 8, and Brett Dahl scored 6 in the 3 games. Meanwhile, Travis Holland's first shot at the free throw line is up and good for his 9th point in the game. His second shot's good. Travis down in Douglas went 14 out of 18 at the line, had 22 points. He has 10 in this one. Shot by Rolfe, no good. Rebounded by Travis Holland. Gives it off to Cottle. Long pass to Jason Grubb. He goes in for the shot, blocked. Picked up by John Hardy. And we come back to the Bearcat into the basket. The floor of their basket, where they're leading by 2, 30-28. Double dribble called on Jeff Philo. 30-28 the score.
Thought he was going to get away with that for a minute there. Kind of a late whistle.
Bison can tie the game with a score, maybe take the lead. They don't do it. But this shot rebounded by Duncan. He puts it up and good. Daniel Duncan has his first field goal, his 3rd point, and it's a tie ball game at 30-30. Bearcats Down the floor, Cooper takes a shot, no good. A whistle goes off and a foul's been called on the Bison. No, it's called on Nathan Rolfe. Wonder what, I thought it was on Jason Grubb. He looked so...
He called it on Nathan Rolfe. He was pushing off on Travis. And they got him for it. He didn't look too happy either, Nathan.
Well, he didn't look none too happy about it, but I was looking at Jason Grubb. I thought it was on him from the way he was looking on the whistle. Bison have the ball. Daniel Duncan, backdoor layup, good! His fifth in the ball game, and for the first time in the game, the Bison have the lead. 32-30. Bearcats down the floor. Rolfe puts the shot up, no good. Tip, no good. Tip, no good. Up by Fear, it's good. Brandon Fear with his fourth point in the ball game. Too many second chances for the Bearcats. Brett Dahl puts the shot up off the glass, no good. Rebounded by John Hardy. Bearcats on the run. They throw the ball away, but kicked out of bounds by Buffalo. Bearcat ball underneath their own basket, which is the basket to our right here in the second half. Hardy inbounds it to Clear. John Hardy with it. David Philo winds up with it. All of a sudden, Daniel Duncan has it. Bison ball down the floor. It's Travis Holland to Duncan. Duncan shot up and good. Daniel Duncan is broken open for 6 points now in the third quarter. And the Bison lead it 34-32. Bearcat ball. John Hardy over the half-court line. Gives to Cooper. His shot no good. Rebounded by Rolfe. Wide open shot. No good. He rebounds. Puts it up again. A whistle goes off somewhere in the melee there. This will be on a Bison player. Travis Holland has his third foul. That's not real good news for Buffalo. So Nathan Rolfe will go to the free throw line. Right now he's hit 0 for 2 at the free throw stripe. 14 points in the game. And Travis Holland will come out of the Bison lineup. Trevor Moon goes in as Nathan Rolfe takes the first shot. Short. No good. Down in Douglas, he was 2 for 2 at the line and 9 points in the first meeting this season. The second shot's good for his 15th point. 34-33. Bison by 1. Ball taken away, knocked out of bounds by Douglas. David Philo slipped in and batted the ball out of Chad Cottle's hand, but he batted it too far. It goes out of bounds. Bison bring it back, and then almost throw it away. Brett Dahl saves it to Trevor Moon underneath Daniel Duncan, but the pass is deflected. Daniel Duncan was so wide open, I cannot believe it.
Well, Trevor didn't see him in time to get the pass there. Daniel and Jason Grubb were both wide open underneath the basket.
Three-pointer by Cottle, no good. Rebounded by Grubb. Jason puts the follow-away shot up, no good. Loses the ball. Jason had fallen down, and as he was trying to get up, the ball rifled right at him. He couldn't control it, knocks it out of bounds. Not a bad acrobatic move, even if he didn't control the ball. Bearcats with the ball. They're down by 1. Shot from the side, no good. Rebounded by Trevor Moon. Trevor stops, gives to Brett Dahl. Brett to the Bison into the floor. Loses the ball. Picked up by Rolfe. Let's see if Rolfe jams it. There it is! 3 points. Nathan Rolfe with 17 in the game. Takes it the full length of the floor and jams it to give Douglas the lead again at 35-34. Bison lose the ball. Fast break pass, Philo. He lays it up. No good, but he is fouled by Brett Dahl.
The Bison are getting a little frustrated on there in the court, Steve. They're getting down there and they're not taking their time with the offense again. And I think the jam frustrated them, and they get down there and they threw the ball away. Jason went up with a really, really bad shot at an attempt.
Troy Cooper comes out of the Bearcat lineup. And so does John Hardy. Now Schroeder goes in. And Brandon Fleer goes back in for Douglas. Meanwhile, it's Jeff Philo, or David Philo, at the free throw line. The first shot's up and good. His first point of the game. Now, he had 15 points down in Douglas, including 3 out of 6 at the free throw stripe. His second shot up and no good. Rebounded by Trevor Moon for Buffalo. Gives to Chad Cottle. The Bison trail by 2. Chad Cottle ties the game. A left-handed 8-foot shot makes it a 36-36 ball game. Bearcat. Rolf, he puts the shot up. That's in. So it counts.
That's just pure strength right there with Nathan Rolf, how he got that ball up under the hoop. He was hit really hard and still got the ball to go through the basket.
Yep, and it will count. So a 3-point play opportunity at the free throw line for Nathan Rolf. Second foul called on Trevor Moon. Nathan Rolf right now 1 out of 4 at the free throw line. I think that's 2 out of 5. The shot's up and good. And the Bearcats back to a 3-point lead, 39-36. Bison ball. Brett Dahl double teamed in trouble. Gets it to Cottle. Chad goes away from it and loses the ball. Picked up by Philo. David Philo loses the ball but knocked away from him by Jason Grubb. And it will be Douglas ball. Andy Schroeder will step out to throw the ball in for the Bearcats.
Jason Grubb a little upset with that. He thinks the ball went off the Douglas player, and I think he might be right. They did give the ball to Douglas, though.
Bearcats now called, well, if that was the case.
It's a makeup call.
It was a makeup call right then because Douglas was called for walking with the ball. 39-36. We're discussing who the referees are. We don't know who they are.
I have no idea.
I've seen one of them before, but I've never seen the other one at all. And it happened right in front of me. The Bison score, but I didn't see who. Meanwhile, Philo takes the shot, no good. Spear puts one up, no good. The whistle goes up. And Trevor Moon has his third foul in the ball game.
Last bucket went to Jason Grubb on the layup there.
Jason Grubb has his 6th point in the ball game then. The 39-38 ball game with 1:24 to play in the third quarter. Douglas leading. Eric Stahl in. Trevor Moon coming out. And to the free throw line goes Brandon Fleer, a 6'0 junior. First shot is up and no good. And Douglas, Brandon hit 2 out of 2 at the line at 19 points in that ball game. I don't know, why don't we get transfer students like Brandon? He transferred in this year to Douglas.
Where'd he come from?
Aspen, Colorado, I hear.
Oh, I see.
Whether or not that's true or not, I don't know. 39-38. Douglas, well, the Bison takes the lead. Nope, they don't. Offensive foul will be called. Offensive foul called on Daniel Duncan after he had scored. But the basket will not count. Needless to say, the Bison fans do not agree.
I don't agree either. I don't see that. The guy was moving all around Daniel Duncan, and he hit Daniel in the back, and I called Daniel for backing into him when he went in. And I don't know why they didn't count the hole either.
Well, we're talking about this one apparently. Well, what the heck? We need a little conversation in our life.
Well,
I don't think it's going to change a darn thing, but you can always talk about it.
They'll probably be talking about it tomorrow.
Yeah. And next week. Bearcat ball. They're ahead by 1 with 1:05 to play in the third quarter. Bearcats lose it. Bison come up with it. Jason Grubb gives to Cottle. Cottle lays it up. Good. Bison back into the lead at 40-39. 50 seconds to go in the third quarter. Jeff Philo, he gets the pass off to Shannon Fincher. Fincher went in for a layup. He is fouled. Foul called on Daniel Duncan. And it will send Fincher, a 5'10 junior, to the free throw line for 2 shots. Robert Branscombe going in. Daniel Duncan coming out. As Daniel Duncan picked up his third foul. And Fincher to the free throw line. Shot number 1 is point number 1.
You know, Steve, I think the offensive foul they called on Daniel Duncan kind of fired up the Bison and their crowd to press. And they're playing a little more aggressive.
That shot no good for Fincher. Rebounded by Branscombe.
It looks like it did fire him up quite a bit. They're out there hustling really well now.
Bison down the floor. It's Brett Dahl to Cottle. Whistle goes off. Lane violation called on the Bison. So the Bison turn it over. This game is tied, by the way. Fincher's free throw a moment ago makes it an even 40-40 score. And the Bison steal the ball. Brett Dahl puts the shot up and in. Douglas got just a little bit careless, and the Bison pounced on it.
The press is real effective right now.
Philo gets it down to Cooper. Cooper puts the shot up and in.
As soon as I say that, of course, they break it and get the easy hoop underneath.
42 all. 15 seconds to go. Third quarter. Three-pointer for Chad Cottle. Shot! Chad Cottle had a very cold first half, but he has had a great third quarter now with 10 points. And the ball at the buzzer goes out of bounds. And at the end of 3 quarters of play, the Bison lead it 45-42. We'll be back after the 60-second timeout. Shot 67% from the field.
63, Steve.
63%. The Bearcats have the ball. They take a shot, no good. Bison come up with it. Buffalo leading 45-42. 7:40 to play in the ball game. Jason Grubb, Brett Dahl exchanging passes. Jason gets it underneath to Holland. Travis puts it up good. Travis Holland with 12 in the ball game. And the Bison with their biggest lead right now, 47-42. Bearcats lose the ball, but knocked out of bounds by the Bison. Bearcats have lost a little bit of that composure when it comes to working the press. 7:15 to play in the ball game. Bearcat ball. Philo gives to John Hardy. John, a three-pointer, drills her dead to the dead in there. 5 points in the game for John Hardy. And that puts the Bearcats right back up to within 2 at 47-45, and the Bison lose the ball. Bearcats have it. An opportunity to tie or take the lead. Roth, 18-footer, no good. Rebounded by Philo. David Philo dug it out, gives to Hardy, takes the three-pointer, no good. And Spear is called for a foul on the fight for the rebound.
That's a foul. Oh, I'm sorry, Steve. Again, that's a foul Travis Holland's been looking for all night. He's been talking to the ref about it, and he finally gets it, and he's happy about that.
I don't think it's because he's been talking to the ref that it was finally called. It was just really obvious that time. And the Bison don't throw the ball away. So they come out with a big break on that deal, but don't capitalize on it. Bearcat ball. Nathan Rolfe hands it. Literally handed it to Jason Grubb. He thought it was a Bearcat player coming up on him. Jason must have said the magic Bearcat code, the password there. Bison have a shot by Travis Holland up and good. 49-45 in favor of Buffalo. Douglas comes through the press, no problem. To Hardy. Hardy into the paint, lays it up, no! Hit, no! Rebounded Buffalo. Jason Grubb comes down the near sideline, gives to Brett Dahl, taken away by Hardy. Hardy, on his way for the fast break, decides he needs to wait for somebody to help him. Bison covered up on defense pretty good that time. Philo, three-point shot, no good. Roth with a follow-up shot, no good. Whistle goes off, and a foul will be charged on the Bison. Foul number 2 on Jason Grubb. And to the free throw line will go Nathan Rolfe. Nathan with 20 points even right now. Make that 21 as the first shot is up and in. Last year in the 3 games, 14 out of 24 at the free throw line for Buffalo, for the Bearcats against Buffalo. The second shot is up and good for his 22nd point, and the Bearcats come back to within 2 at 49-47. Bison bring it down. Jason Grubb falls down. Called for walking with the ball. Well, it was a trip, not intentional. I mean, it's not like somebody for Douglas stuck their foot out. But
exactly, but that is a foul, I guess, in the technical sense. You know, not intentional at all. Most fouls, I suppose, are not on purpose.
Anyway, Douglas gets the ball and a chance to tie or take the lead. Philo, three-point shot, no. Rebounded by Hardy. Hardy, 18-footer, yes. And it's a tie ball game, 49-49. And the Bison throw the ball away, but Douglas then throws the ball away. Bison get it right back. Chad Cottle, three-point shot, nope. Rebounded by Eric Stahl, and they're going to have Eric Stahl called for the foul. Foul number 1 on Eric Stahl. Now the Bison fans are not going to appreciate that call. You may hear that vote of disapproval in the background. You know, you got to learn what the referee calls.
Well, I think,
and normally that would not have gone against Eric Stahl.
No, he was a good 2 to 3 feet behind us. 2 to 3 feet behind the Douglas player. The ball was just over the Douglas player's head, out of his reach, and came into Eric's hands, but he was behind him, but I don't think there was any contact at all.
And David Philo gives Douglas the lead at the free throw line. First shot good, second shot good. 51-49 in favor of Douglas. Second game in a row, it's going to go down to the buzzer for the Bison. About the same way today as it was last night against Lovell. We played catch-up. We've had the lead, but then down the stretch in the fourth quarter, when we took the lead, we couldn't put it away, and then we had a 4-point lead, the biggest lead we had just moments ago, but Douglas scored 6 unanswered points. Meanwhile, we have Coach Amon wanting to talk about something. I think they called Brandon Fear.
No, Philo, number 23, with the foul.
Well, they put 30 on the scoreboard, though.
Oh, I see what they had, the scorebook. Yeah, they don't want to get the fourth foul on number 30. I don't even, is he even in the game? Yeah, he is in the game.
Anyway, it's Bison ball. Inbounds to Brett Dahl. A shot no good. Rebounded Travis Holland. Puts it up and in. Good. Well, sometimes things get hard to follow, and then the coaches and the referees have to kind of make it even harder to follow to know what in the world's going on down there. But I will tell you this, Travis Holland just scored. It ties the ball game at 51-51, and he was fouled by John Hardy. John's third foul, and Travis Holland misses the free throw. Knocked out of bounds. No, saved back in bounds. Was saved in bounds by Fear. Right into the hands of the Bison. Right into the hands of Travis Holland, who went right back up for a shot and was fouled.
Yeah, his coach will probably have a talk with him about that.
Nathan.
One of the cardinal rules is to never save the ball under the opposing team's basket, and that's exactly what he did. Travis went up for an easy layup, and they had to foul him.
And it is 4 fouls on Nathan Rolfe. Travis Holland to the Buffalo free throw line for 2. The first shot, nope, won't go for him. Tell you what, he has had tons of practice at that free throw line this year. Coming into tonight's game, 128 free throws this season.
That's good aggressive play inside.
Second shot is up and good, and the Bison lead it by 1, 52-51. Bearcats take a three-pointer. That is Jeff Philo, his 5th point in the ball game, and the Bearcats lead by 2, 54-52. A lot of time left in this whole game, though. 4 minutes, 24 seconds. Bearcats knock the ball out of bounds. It will be Bison ball. Chad Cottle, Brett Dahl. Brett looking underneath the Duncan. Daniel puts it up and in. Daniel Duncan went among the tall trees in there for that 2 points. Tie game, 54 all. Bearcat balls, they come through the press. Shot by Roth, no good. 15 flat-footed, flat shots. No Didn't have a touch on it. And the Bison get the rebound. Chad Cottle down the lane. Shot is up, no good. Whistle goes off. And a foul called on Douglas. That is on John Hardy. And that, at least unofficially, would be his 4th foul in the ball game. And Douglas wants timeout. 3 minutes, 52 seconds to play in the ball game. Tie game, 54-54. Let's take this quick 30-second, just under 4 minutes to play. Tie game, 54-54. And the Bison will be at the free throw line. And Sean, I don't want you to talk about free throw shooting last night. I won't talk about it either. Let's see if they just can't start anew in this 4th quarter at the free throw line.
Well, hopefully they'll shoot, like I said, I should mention it, but that's much better than they did last night.
A free throw or 2 in the stretch last night would have made a big difference.
Yeah. A tie easy, or a win easy, a tie at least.
Chad Cottle will get 2 at the Bison free throw line. First shot is no good. Chad is 0 for 1 tonight. He's hit 20 out of 39 at the free throw stripe for about 55%, give or take 1 or 2 percentages. Second shot is no good. And rebounded by Douglas. Bearcats, chance to take the lead if they score. Philo puts up a long one from the side. Good for 2. Jeff Philo with his 7th point in the game. Bearcats lead it 56-54. Chad Cottle, baseline drive, lays it up. Nope. Rebounded by the Bearcats. The Bison need to D up on this one. They do it. They take the ball right away from Nathan Rolfe. Long pass for Buffalo to Cottle. The Bison settle it down. Whistle goes off and a foul will be called on Douglas. Troy Cooper. Now, I really have this feeling that Coach Yeaman has misled me. The program says Cooper is 5'11", and he's only a sophomore, but he certainly is not playing like you think a sophomore would play, and he looks bigger than that.
Yeah, well, it's misleading on purpose, probably. More for the Bison's benefit, I'm sure.
Chad Cottle misses his free throw, rebounded by Travis Holland. He goes right back up for 2. Travis Holland ties the ball game at 56-56. Bearcats come over the line, and they go to Cooper wide open. He lays it up. Good. 58-56. Douglas by 2. Bison with the ball. Brett Dahl, 18-footer. Nope. Rebounded by Travis Holland. He goes up for the shot. No good. Whistle goes off, and Jeff Philo is called for the foul. That would be 3 on Jeff Philo, and Travis Holland will get 2. at the Buffalo free throw line. Actually, Douglas's best bet would be just foul every time if they have to foul to stop the basket.
Oh, yeah, and it really doesn't matter who they foul either. We just haven't been shooting free throws that good tonight.
Travis Holland missing the first of his 2 shots. 2 minutes, 45 seconds to play in the ball game. Bearcats by 2. Second shot, this one's good for Travis Holland. Bearcats lead it by 1. Shot by Philo, no good. Loose ball, picked up by the Bearcats. The whistle goes off and a foul called on Buffalo. Now, first of all, I keep forgetting we have 2 Philos out there. It was Jeff Philo who took the initial shot. It was rebounded by David Philo, who gave it right back to Jeff Philo. Jeff Philo then went up for the shot. He was fouled. He gets 2 at the free throw line, and Chad Cottle has his 4th foul in the ball game. And Jeff Philo's first shot is up and no good. He had 4 out of 4 against the Bison in Douglas. Had 13 points in that, 15 points in that ball game. Second shot's up and good. The Bearcats lead it by 2, 59-57. The Bison almost lose the ball. They get it to Cottle, the Dahl. Brett back to Chad Cottle. Out front, Dahl, back to Cottle. Chad looking, gives to Brett Dahl. 2:15 to play in the ball game. This way it's Jason Grubb. Jason loses the ball. Jeff Philo comes up with the ball. John Hardy marches the ball over the half-court line, and Travis Holland gets in to knock the ball out of bounds. We're down to 2 minutes to play in this game, and right now the advantage is to Douglas. They lead by 2, and they have the ball on the inbound play. John Hardy, baseline drive, flops the shot up, no good, knocked out of bounds by David Philo. Bison will get the ball. I don't know what happened to John. It just kind of lost a little control on that move.
Well, he tried to avoid a defensive player and avoid taking the charge, or excuse me, the offensive foul, and just lost his balance.
Meanwhile, the Bison come down and throw the ball away. Then it's stolen right back by Jason Grubb. Jason to Daniel Duncan, but Daniel can't hang on to it. And it is given. What is going on here? Okay. And Douglas now throws the ball away. I don't know what happened to the equipment, but it started singing or something there. And then, how many turnovers in the last less than 13 seconds we've had?
At least 2.
Hot potato, neither team can hang on to it. Bison have it right now. Jason Grubb takes the shot, no good. Rebounded by the Bearcats. And Douglas, with 1:19 to play in the ball game, has a 2-point lead, and they call the timeout. Kick the ball on the inbound play, and Douglas will do it all over again. Over in front of the bleacher bums. Bearcats inbound it. Handling it right now, Cooper. Cooper this way to John Hardy. Now the Bison have a lot of time to be patient if they could, and they do it! They wound up forcing a turnover on the Douglas Bearcats. I was going to say, you know, they could let Douglas take the clock down 50 seconds before they have to worry, maybe go for the foul. They didn't have to. Douglas did it for them. Travis Holland goes up for a shot, no good. Rebounded by the Bearcats. And so here we go again.
And that was not a good shot by Travis Holland right there, not by any means.
Gets the ball back time for the Bison. Keeps the ball away from the Bison for the Bearcats. 45 seconds to play, and there's the foul. Too soon to get called to go for the foul, so I'm sure that was not intentional. Jason Grubb was just thought he saw the ball away from the body and went after the ball and wound up with a contact there. And Troy Cooper will go to the free throw line for Douglas. Troy has 12, 14 points in this ball game. Much better here than he did in Douglas. Misses the shot. Rebounded by Buffalo. Now the Bison have 40 seconds to go. They're down by 2. The Bison call timeout. But you know, helter-skelter, the Bearcat fans can start holding their breath. Let's see if the Bearcat defense can't get that ball back without giving up any points. 59-57. The Bearcats lead it by 2. The Bison led it by 3 coming into this fourth quarter. The Bearcats led it by 4 at the start of the second half. Bison have the ball. We're down to a half minute to go. Brett Dahl to Daniel Duncan. Gives to Brett Dahl to Chad Cottle. Travis Holland to Brett Dahl. We're down to 20 seconds. Travis Holland loses the ball. It will be Bison ball though. Knocked out of bounds by the Bearcats. Travis was going for the shot when Douglas slapped the ball out of his hand.
And it may be almost too soon to go for a shot then. 20 seconds left. That gives Douglas plenty of time to get the ball down the court and call a timeout.
18 seconds to play in the ball game. Timeout has been called.
And Cooper has been playing a pretty good game tonight too. The Bison just need to be a little patient here with the ball and wind the clock down and run the play I'm sure Grant showed him in the huddle.
18 seconds to play in the ball game, and the Bison bring the ball in. The Bison need to get at least 2 points on the scoreboard. They'll go to Jason Grubb. His shot no good. Rebounded by Daniel Duncan. 5 seconds to go. Three-pointer by Cottle. No good. He is fouled by John Hardy with 5 seconds to go. Quite frankly, John, I wish you would have taken your chances and let that one go by you. John fouls out of the ball game.
The only good thing they get out of that is Chad is shooting 3 at the line. That was a 3-point shot on the foul, so he gets 3 free throws to the line, and we need at least 2 of them.
Well, it'll take 2 to tie, 3 to give them the lead. But, there's T8. Now he's got 2 to make 1 to keep this one alive. But he could, Douglas, of course, they'll do the diplomatic thing.
They're gonna ice him, yeah.
All the time out, nice it, but we'll keep it right here. Make him time around.
Make him sweat a little bit more. But his knees are shaking.
1 free throw will win the game.
Yeah. I never made mine.
Well, didn't you always take 15 or 20 to make that one though?
No, well, if I miss, I always got the rebound with the tip in, immediately.
59-58. Douglas is leading this one. But right now, the Bison, well, I don't know if you call it being in the driver's seat or not, but they are at the free throw line for 2 more shots. And one of those, if they go in, would tie this ball game, and then Douglas would have 5 seconds
to win or lose
down the floor and get a shot off, which, that's plenty of time.
Well, they say that first one's always the toughest, and Chad, right through the nothing but net on that one, so he's
shot is up. Good! Oh, you have little face Bison fans. It's good. And we have a tie ball game with 5 seconds to go. Andy Schroeder comes out of the Douglas lineup. Jeff Philo goes in. David breaks the tie. It's up. It is no good. Rebounded by Cooper. Cooper to Robb. Robb, he'll come down. He'll get the shot off at the buzzer. No good! Overtime! We will go into overtime. An overtime period. Clear to David Philo. Philo comes this way to Fleer. Fleer takes an 18-footer. It's good. Douglas leading by 2 in overtime, 61-59. Jason Grubb, baseline drive. He is fouled by Cooper. Now, of all the players for Douglas that could afford to give up a foul, Cooper is that player, because I think that's only his second one. Jason Grubb will go to the free throw line. Jason, a 55% free throw shooter, has 6 points in this game. Shot is up and good.
Nice touch. Shooter's roll.
Pure luck.
Yeah. Call it what you want, right?
61-60. And make that 61-61. Tie ball game. 2 free throws by Jason Grubb. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to play. We are in overtime here at the Buffalo High School gym. Douglas with the ball. Philo to Clear. Clear back to Philo. Excuse me, that is David Philo. He comes this way to Jeff Philo. Back to David Philo. Ball takes away. Brett Dahl, but Brett knocks it out of bounds before he can control it. Ball will be given to Douglas at the center court stripe. Jeff Philo inbounds the pass to Cooper. Back to Jeff Philo. We're down to 2:05 to play. We're in overtime. Bearcats content to look for the open person, and they go to Roth. He puts the shot up, and he got the roll.
Yeah, there's a shooter's roll.
Boy, that one almost did not go, but at the last second did. 60.